The body of late Dr. Ifeanyi Ubah arrived in Anambra yesterday. But this is the news. Simon Ekpa is yet to give them the go-ahead for the final burial. What does that mean? Ifeanyi Ubah is supposed to be a former senator who has more ranks than Simon Ekpa in South. For them waiting on Simon Ekpa to give them the final approval of the burial of the former senator. What does that mean to Anambra State and Igbo land as a whole?
Yeah, thank you for that wonderful question. There's an adage that says, when a man cooks for the community,
Yes.
the community will finish the food. But when the community cooks for an individual, there is no iota of that the man will finish the food.
Yes.
There is no theory approving it that such man will never finish the food. That is the case. That is the case study of late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah.
Yes.
When you begin to betray your people,
yes.
this is what you get. Because this is a man who also orchestrated, conspired with the former president Muhammadu Buhari to kidnap Madam Kanu from Nairobi. This is a man who has stood against the Biafra freedom, despite knowing fully well that the Igbos are heavily marginalized in this country called Nigeria. He's doing that because he was loyal to his paymasters. But now, when repercussion came, his paymasters could not even speak for him. So I think, to me, it's a moral lesson that wherever we are, we should always speak for the people who gave us that mandate. We should always speak for our people, because now that the center is late, people cannot take him to Katsina for him to be buried. He cannot be brought back to Lagos for him to be buried. He cannot be buried in Abuja. He must be brought back to his hometown. And then a man that his community has even rejected him, it shows the man he himself orchestrated all what has happened to him. And let's not forget that this same man called Senator Ifeanyi Ubah formed a Buhari. He formed a Buhari to counter ESN that was being formed by Mazi in Kanu. But now the question is that where was Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, where Fulani were killing people in the southeast? It is anything. It is anything. He was so loyal, quiet, and then being respectful to his people, to his paymasters, that he even the party that gave him the mandate, AGA, that was formed by late Chukwuemeka Ojukwu.
Yes.
He even defected that party. He defected to APC, yes, because he wanted to please some individuals. Knowing fully well that after Charles Soludo, he might become the governor of the state. But now, God, in his infinite mercies, has said no, that everyone who has orchestrated the kidnapping of Mazi Kanu, they are now going down one after the other. It shows that no matter what you do, never betray your people. Stand with your people. Even if your people, what you are doing at that time, it is even against the constitution. Stand with them, support them, and then behind, you can call them to order that this is what you are doing, you should not be doing so. But at least come in public and speak for them.
You are saying that everybody who has always betrayed Biafra, the Igbo cause, and Nnamdi Kanu has always been disgraced. Do you mean that this burial of Dr. Ifeanyi Ubah is a shameful burial? Do you mean that this burial of Dr. Ifeanyi Ubah should not hold? Do you agree with Ekpa that they should wait till he gives them the go-ahead before they do the burial?
Now, Mr. Thank you for that question. Now, a corpse that is community people has rejected. See, for community to reject your corpse, it shows that something horrible has happened. No community in the world would reject their son to be buried in their community, because there is something he has done against the tribe, against the Igbo tribe. That is what is keeping his burial on hold. Now, let's even put Simon Ekpa apart. Has he done well for his people? What did he do for his people? Why can't the people speak well of him? It shows that these men were loyal to the Fulani paymasters, to the Fulani hegemony. They thought life, they thought their life will be forever. But see, not only that, sorry, excuse me, that it is only God who determines who lives
Yes.
on earth. Now, the senator, Mazi Nnamdi that he orchestrated the arrest.
Yes.
Now, he's still alive.
Sorry.
He's still alive. But people you collab with to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi, the senator is late. The moral lesson is that don't always plan evil against your fellow man. Don't plan evil. And those even plan evil with, he thought that he was doing it for the interest of Nigeria, keeping one Nigeria in unity. But now, is Nigeria united?
Is Nigeria united?
That is the question. Nigeria as a country is not united, and that is the question of this brings me to the issue of Bianca Ojukwu, that she should learn from the past, that your tribe is heavily marginalized, and yet nobody is speaking up. And a man who stood up to defend the cause of the Igbo and to continue from where Ojukwu stopped, you all have now ganged up against him. That is the story of late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. For a man to have even dropped his private jet, went as far as dropping his private jet, so that Mazi Nnamdi will be repatriated back to the country. It shows that, you see, when you do evil, your people can protect you, can shield you.
Yes.
Like, see, when you do evil against outside your people can still speak good of you. That this man is our person, let us shield him from shame. But when you commit the same evil to your people, my brother, there is no hiding place. There is no hiding place. This is a man that came from the Biafra struggle, and he saw Ojukwu, he initiated this Biafra struggle and was turned down. This, and when you were given the opportunity to go to the Senate, why can't you for one day speak against the injustice of the Igbos? But rather, you remain silent. You kept mute just because you felt if there is no Nigeria, you cannot become governor. But today, is he not the governor of the state? Today is not the governor of the state.
But don't you think that people like Simon Ekpa, Nnamdi Kanu should form a political party to actually, because the people that seem to be representing the Indigos may not, I use the word, may not be working in the particular interest of the region. Don't you think that the Igbos should find a way to nominate, I'm talking about Nnamdi Kanu, if it's released, and Simon Ekpa, to form a political party that is going to bring the Igbos a candidate that will speak to their best interest in the issues of Nigeria.
My brother, there's no, see, Simon Ekpa and Peter should not waste their time, because the country itself is dead on arrival. There's no, see, nothing can unite us again. Nothing would ever unite Nigerians like the way Nigerians supported Peter Obi in the last election. Every tribe across every tribal region supported Peter Obi, but the institution gave him the mandate. So that is the reason that some people have saw that nothing that it is that election in Nigeria, it is by selection. It is who the cabals wants. It is who they believe they can dance to their own tune. That is who they appoint. So forming a political party will not solve the issue. The issue is that let every region go their separate way. And then that is why you see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa has been championing this cause.
But the issue of separation, I don't think, that's my opinion, it is in the Nigerian constitution. So speaking against it, sometimes people think as reasonable. But don't you think that talking about separation since it's not entrenched in the Nigerian constitution, don't you think that this is reasonable? So they are talking about the Nigerian law.
My brother, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
When President Tinubu said it in 1992, was it enshrined in the Nigerian constitution?
I know 1999 constitution.
Was it? No. was he enshrined in the
But
constitution?
people say that I don't believe in one Nigeria.
So a man that don't be in one Nigeria, what does that imply? You don't need to come out to say let Nigeria break up, let Nigeria divide. I don't believe in one Nigeria. What does that imply? It shows that he does not believe in the contraction that everybody should go their simple way. That is the simple. That is the simple arithmetics. My brother, if the system is working, nobody will call for separation. US system is working, nobody has called for separation. Finland system is working. Have you seen anybody call it? Germany, that's it. Any system that is working, my brother, nobody will call for separation. And let's not forget that the system did not just deteriorate today. Ojukwu called for it. So it shows that the system has been so decayed. So nobody will stop it, my brother. And let's not forget that Obama just said that even the Fulanis too call for secession.
Yes, Araba, yes.
Araba in a particular time. My brother, those in government of today
Yes.
are not calling for secession because they are happy in the government.
Yes.
My brother, today, take them out of the system. My brother, they will begin to call for secession. They begin to complain. Tinubu called for secession because he was not in government then. But now that is the government, have you heard him say anything? So, my brother, the best thing is that let every job go their separate way. And then you see it. Back to the question, Ekpa has now become governor of the Southeast because the governors, the lacunas
Yes.
in the governor in the Southeast
Yes.
was filled by Ekpa. He came to speak for his people. He came to defend people just like Mazi Kanu. So now, so the people now see him, respect him, value him more than the leaders.
So now we are forcing home the death of Ifeanyi Ubah. What does it mean to other people that may be, or you think that may be saboteurs of the Biafra actualization?
It is that now one thing this men forget to understand is that just like what you always said,
Yes.
Oduduwa is an ideology, is an identity.
Yes.
Arewa is an ideology, is an identity.
Yes.
So the Biafra struggle is an identity and is also an ideology. Even to a newborn baby today,
Yes.
you cannot defeat Biafra with the Bible of God because ideology is something you have inside of you. It's what you know. It is what you believe. Just like what Christians believe in Jesus Christ and Muslims believe in Allah.
Yes.
For someone to come and erase that message from you, it will take donkey years. It will take donkey years. So no matter what it takes, that this is a call of wake up call to all the senators and to all the people that let them go and support their people and fight for this struggle. If they are not marginalized, what about the average man, the average Igbo man on the streets? They are heavily marginalized.
Okay.
I think so.
Thanks for coming, and it's nice having you on another platform. If you are watching, kindly subscribe, on notifications, like and share with others.
Thank you. This is a lesson to everybody that you don't betray the struggle and you don't betray the trust your people give you. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are watching us from. This is another edition of politics on the street. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, share and comment for more political discourse. Yesterday, the body of late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah has arrived in Nigeria, and now Ekpa has given a directive about burial to be placed on hold, and that body should never be buried in the Southeast. That is a taboo that the person worked against the restoration of the Biafra country. He said that burial should never be held. How can you answer, sir?
My reaction is, you see, the casket, arrived yesterday, and maybe they use his private jet, flew his dead body, his corpse, into Biafra land. And if you ask me, I will tell you actually that there is uneasy calmness in the southeastern Nigeria now as a result of that, because Ifeanyi Ubah, I think, is a serving senator,
Yes.
Yeah, Nnewi district, either Nnewi South or district. And if you ask me, I will tell you that officially it is the responsibility of federal to do the funeral, burial arrangement. I don't know what you understand.
But
But,
the claim is a traitor.
but the accusation that he's a traitor is what is growing, brewing ripples, sort of, in the southeastern Nigeria. They don't want, according to Igbo tradition, someone like that, buried in Igbo land, because actually he turned his back on Biafra agitation to the level of the kind of, causing such havoc or damages on the Biafran people by colluding with Nigeria government to, abduct his kinsman, Maze Namde Kanu, into Nigerian country. That was let's say 3-4 years ago, June, when Namde Kanu was illegally abducted at Nairobi Airport, Kenya. And everybody that orchestrated that dastard act are on the line now, because the Igbo traditional, belief, Igbo culture, customs, at least pounds, or let me say, negate such action. It negates such action in such a way that you are not expected in Igbo land. It is a taboo to sell your brother, to sell a man that is same ancestry from with you. So what I'm trying to say is that such burial, if you ask most Igbo men, something should be performed as in the tradition of the Southeasterners before burying, if at all, such a person. Ifeanyi Ubah we are talking about, nobody is happy Ifeanyi Ubah is dead. When I learned it about his death, I was doubting it because I wasn't happy. Our brother is one of our greatest brothers in the Southeastern Nigeria that has made name, in the, let me say, history of Southeastern Nigeria. And on the, let me say, annal, that is record of great Igbo billionaires, Ifeanyi Ubah's name is as the number first 10. Ifeanyi Ubah is there. I don't really understand. So it is a thing of not joy. It is a thing that does not worth celebration. But today the question we're asking ourselves is, how did he spend his life? His lifetime on earth? Was he aggressive, hostile, adversarial to his kinsmen, to his brothers, Igbos? Is Ifeanyi Ubah an adversary? So the question there is, how are we going to, upturn the kind of animosity created by Ifeanyi Ubah while alive to his fellow Igbo man? Because once we actually learned on the news that Nnamdi Kanu was abducted right from Nairobi Airport into Nigeria here, we begin to mirror our enemies, who are the pursuers of the Igbos, who are those ones gunning, shooting against the Igbos. We began from Lai Mohammed, we began from Malami Abubakar, we began from somebody like Buhari. That Buhari has been, chasing after the Igbos with guns and other weapons, lethal weapons. And as we are surveying, mentally using our mind to, navigate, at least to find out how possible Nnamdi Kanu was just abducted successfully like that. At a stage, we began to arrive at a conclusion that IKMB colluded with federal government, Hope Uzodinma colluded with federal government. There was a time they even brought in Atoeze's name before it filtered into the air that it wasn't only Hope Uzodinma was our perceived enemies. an enemy within in Igbo land, but also Ifeanyi Ubah, the youth party flag bearer, the most amiable sons, the most amiable son of the Igbo land, Ifeanyi Ubah, was even among. So many like us, like me, I'm an analyst, so constant and regular on social media. It took me such pain, I mean pain, to believe that Ifeanyi Ubah was among the betrayers of Nnamdi Kanu. To the level that I was confronted by one of my kinsmen, direct blood kinsmen. He was like, what do you mean? You that is on the news should have known about this. That Ifeanyi Ubah provided the aircraft. I said, they used to. I said, you mean it? So it took me time, to nurse the injury caused me by this sad news. And as time, since then, I've been investigating, all fingers were pointing to that direction, that Ifeanyi Ubah played key role on bringing in Nnamdi Kanu illegally into this country. That's Ifeanyi Ubah is against Biafra. So my brother, when the Cabs touched Igbo land, there was much debate on how to handle the burial arrangement, because his kinsman Newi, were the hero of our time, Ikemba Odumegwu hails from, are not having it easy this time around to cope with the pain, which, Ifeanyi Ubah cost Igbo people since 2021 after Nnamdi Kanu's abduction. So now people are saying they are not going to do it. They are not going to allow him. They have outlawed him already, ostracized him before his demise early this year. So what I'm saying now is a reconciliation, which is very, very difficult in the heart of Igbo man, because the damages have been done already. So I think it is right time they come together in the southeastern Nigeria to profile for peace, so that Ifeanyi Ubah should be allowed rest.
Thank you so much for that one.